Hello, Exiles. League start is today. It's very soon, and I'm just so excited about it. And I need to do something to keep myself occupied for the whole time. So I'm just gonna make like low quality videos about my plans for SSF. Number one, yeah, to keep me occupied. Number two, there's not a lot of like really good SSF content out there. There's a couple of creators, but Um, there should be more. I think there's currently a somewhat of an SSF content drought in Path of Exile. So I'm just gonna make some SSF videos where I literally just like have OBS open the entire time and don't do editing because I hate editing videos. If I learned how to edit videos, I would become too powerful. Let's talk about this first Atlas tree. Boom, it's gone. All right, so starting out, I want to go straight up and get the Kirak nodes for mission chance. I don't know necessarily how good these will be. I think like I'll just drop enough scouting reports passively. So I go up here, I grab these Kirak missions first, and then I'm gonna go down here this way. I'm gonna grab these Kirak mission nodes. It's really important over here to path to the right, just so that you have a ton of Kirak mission chance. Whoops, I didn't delete that. And then after this, I think it's a good idea to grab. All right, let's actually do this right. So you grab Shaping the World up here, and then you're going to grab Shaping the Mountains. I even want to grab Shaping the World before going down for these nodes, but let's just get these nodes in roughly this order. After that, so there are a total of 36 white maps. So at this point, like, I don't know how good my gear is going to be. One thing for me in SSF that's very important early on in a league start scenario is something I like to call floor rares, which is just like rare items you pick up off the floor. And then like you get a good item out of it. And there's like a couple of sources of that. Like you could technically go like essence with this, and then every essence monster you kill will have an extra rare item with an essence modifier. I don't like that necessarily. I'm a big fan of Jun early on for two big reasons. Well, kind of like three-ish. There's like a lot. Um, how many big reasons do I want to have? Let's go for two big reasons. Then I'll talk about nice things later on. So first really big reason. You get really, really high quality floor rares from Betrayal. These Betrayal members, they drop identified rare veiled items, which means that you can like mouse over it when it's on the ground and actually judge it without having to like pick it up and identify it, which is like a bit of a hassle. And so like let's say you see a veiled item and it's like a pair of gloves with like a decent life roll, like with a good life roll and like one resistance. Should you pick that up? Yes, absolutely. And you don't want to know, or like even if it's like two resistance veiled prefix, right? You want to pick that up because you can go to your crafting bench, and as long as you have like a scouring orb, this is okay to do, and you're probably gonna have a couple of scouring orbs at this point. You're gonna you're gonna control C the item. You're gonna go to craftofexile.com, craftofexile.com, and you're gonna like import your item, and then it's gonna show, oh hey, here's like the veiled mods you could get and their weight. You kind of like look at the ones you don't want and you craft something similar to those, and then when you unveil, you are more likely to get a really desirable mod. So before that item had like two good mods, you unveil, you get a third good mod, and then you're gonna craft a fourth good mod, and like bunch of rares with like life 3 resistance or like life 2 resistance and some other good prefix that gets you to red maps. And that's kind of the main focus of this tree is like get you good enough gear to get to red maps and get you the maps to get there. along with like other forms of player power that aren't just that are like permanent. I don't like Pact with Energy or Shrines, which like might be fucking stupid, but I really like to think about like what will like develop and ferment and improve like my league as a whole in SSF or something fucking weird like that. I also grabbed these three Betrayal Mission chance nodes because they're very good. And then I'm going to go over here and take Shaping the Skies because this is just like more really good chances to have my maps upgraded by a tier. And by now, this is 38 points, so I am in yellow maps, and I don't want to get stuck. Some people might say, oh, you should like go straight for Jun and then like path up here. But if you look at it, if I take these three nodes, click properly, I can just despec those three nodes, and it's like literally the fucking same. So if you're actually pathing over for Jun and then going up here, it should only be because you want this expedition wheel, which is a very good expedition wheel. Let's go into yellow maps. Let's click on my yellow maps planner. I don't like expedition. Um, expedition does give you a lot of great stuff for league start, especially in SSF and even in trade. If I was trade, I might be more inclined to do expedition because I could just like sell my logbooks or whatever. But in SSF, let's just go over what's up. So Gwenin, not that relevant league start for SSF. Over the course of a league, if you're doing a lot of expedition, like it's definitely worth it to just do your Gwenin rerolls with a regex to like grab jewels or heavy belts and leather belts or like other like uniques that you're chasing. I think that's fine. That's like not too bad. I don't mind it. Rug crafting, honestly pretty cool. I think it's kind of a pain in the butt and you just will brick a lot and it kind of feels like a waste of time, especially early on when I could be like pushing maps with my rare gear that's already fine. I suppose Rog is maybe better for making. I don't know how good Rog is going to be this league. Anyway, with like the gambling in the tavern, because it looks like they got a bunch of really good rares from that. So that's another thing is I think Rog is devalued by tavern gambling, where you're gonna get high quality rares. Danig, he just feeds into the other ones, so we're not gonna talk about him too much. And then we have Tujin. I will admit, you get so much fucking currency from Tujin. But also, Tujin fucking sucks. Like, um, just like the act of Tujining, it's so fucking bad because you have to like click on the item and then you have to drag the bar over and then you click confirm and he's like, hey, what if you did this instead? And sometimes you repeat that like 3 or 4 times. And clicking like fucking 7 times to get a stack of 10 alteration orbs, fuck that. I hate it. Um, I like so because I don't like expedition, I have to put my points somewhere else. And for me, the answer ended up being Harvest, Harbinger, and Volside areas. And I picked all of these because they will make it like easier and reduce the friction of pushing up through yellow maps. So let's start with Harvest. Harvest, like basically part half of it is this node, Bountiful Harvest. 200% increased experience from harvest monsters just sounds like it'll be so helpful. So, actually, let's back up a little bit because I forgot this. Effective leadership. Immortal Syndicate members in your maps are 100% more likely to be accompanied by their leader. Leaders in your map drop an additional veiled item. So this just and also there like I have to travel to get 15% chance for an additional veiled item. And that's pretty solid. Because like more people in my map means that I can execute and interrogate more people. And a big problem you can have is the leaders of the safe houses. Sometimes they just never show up in maps. and you have all their underlings at level 3, and you would absolutely love to just interrogate that leader so that they like go down to 2 stars or whatever, and then you can just execute them to bring them back up to 3 stars, which is quite nice. And then one of their level 3 underlings takes over, so that when you do raid the safe house, you still have someone level 3 in there to get a lot of mastermind intelligence. So I think this is really good, not only for the floor rare, but for advancing the board. In an SSF, advancing the betrayal board and running the safe houses is super rewarding early on because you just get a bunch of free, cute little items. Um, I try not to plan the board too much unless there's like certain things I really want, like Varici and research. Ooh. Yeah, I actually did make a little notepad document for myself and put it in my Steam notes about where I want to put which betrayal people. And a lot of them it's just wherever. And for the most time you just put them wherever. But like just doing a safe house, you get a ton of XP, and then you also get a couple cute little loots, and like maybe you get like a funny unique like a paradoxic or something. I don't know. I'm a big fan of betrayal early on, and we're going to invest into it more later. It's just that right now I want other stuff before I get to red maps. Let's talk about that. So, I'm getting all the nice juice from Harvest. So I'm going to here to get chance. I'm going up here, grabbing the XP node and some more chance, and then up here for more chance, and then like duplication of the life force, which is pretty good. Because we're not getting that much life force early on. So, but we might get enough to do like re-roll a couple maps. And I really like re-rolling maps with Harvest early on in SSF because if I only have one copy of that map, and scours are like super rare at this point. I don't have a lot of scours probably. I want to, but I still like I alka map it. It has like some kind of mod I can't run. I can throw it into Harvest and re-roll it because generally I want to spend all like my chaos on crafting. And every time I get like a new better item, I want to craft the best mods on it I can so that I can be as strong as I can. So I gotta craft. So I need my chaos for chaos purposes. So rerolling my maps with Harvest is so fucking good. Next up, Harbinger. So the thing about Harbinger is that you get the Harbinger orbs and the Horizon orbs. The Horizon orb will just randomize a map within its tier. I find that's pretty useful for completing the Atlas because like once you push up into a new tier of maps, especially in like red maps at first, it can be kind of hard to like sometimes you just drop two like T14 maps or something and it's the same map twice and you like roll one and it's good and you're like what the fuck do I do with this other one? I don't want to like run it immediately. I want to get something different. So bam, you just throw the Horizon orb on it and you're good. You got to love that. So just like Harbinger, it also gives you like a little bit of bubble gum that can be nice, but it's mostly for like for the two Harbinger orb types that, when used, can help get through maps more smoothly. And thirdly, Vol side areas might seem a little strange to you, and it's a little strange to me. I'm trying this out as an experiment. Sometimes in SSF you just run out of Vol orbs, but there is a vendor recipe where you combine 7 Vol skill gems. That's right, 7 fucking Vol skill gems, and then 1 sacrifice fragment, and you get a Vol orb back. And so if you're like in red maps and you have your rare red maps, but they're not corrupted, and you're like, shit, what do I do? This is the answer. Um, so I'm gonna be like doing my Vol side areas in campaign possibly. I don't think there's any Vol skills I super duper want, other than maybe Vol Arc. But I probably will corrupt like a 20 quality arc for that one. Anyway, That's yellow maps. I talked about everything. All right, red maps. So 121 is a lot of points, Atlas points at this point. Oh, it's bugged. So let's see. Where do we go first? All right, so Legion, we're not taking that at the beginning. Legion is like, all right, so let's just look at this. I think that Vol, who are they? Vol and Templar, they have some timeless tools that keystones that I think are really interesting that I would want to do. So that's why I picked them. All right, so the first thing I want to do, most likely, is I'm going to go up here, and like all this fucking pathing to get to the tier 4 plant harvest node, potentially. Because, like, I want to get that as soon as possible, because, like, sometimes you just do so much fucking harvest and you don't get one, which is very sad. You'll probably need, like, one for challenges, you'll need a couple for crafting. And after that, I grab these three things in the middle, and I, like, go for this Harbinger node, probably. I'm going to go down here, grab all these Betrayal nodes. This is going to give me 100% chance, John, and when I execute, they get 2 ranks instead of 1. That's a huge deal because like I'm gonna just like reset my board. I'm gonna have like a bunch of shitty tier 1 people, and normally it takes a little while to rank them up to 3 so that you can actually interrogate them. But with this, you just like execute them all, and then like next map they're level 3, and you just fucking interrogate them, and you're getting that intelligence so fucking quickly. Especially when you're having more of them show up through effective leadership, it just kind of lets you get through the board so fast. And if you can accumulate a bunch of like veiled orbs more early on, you can still use them for like mid game crafting and SSF. And then after that, I might like do some blocking. So I don't like expedition. I'm not gonna want to do very much expedition this league, except like if there's challenges related to it, which there probably will be, but it probably won't be that bad. I block ultimatum. I don't like ultimatum. It is I mean, it did get buffed and it's going to actually drop loot now, which is good because before it felt like complete shit. You're killing so many fucking monsters, and then the trial master was like, "You're a stupid little baby. I who sucks. Ha ha ha." And then he gives you like a shitty rare, and he's like, "Do you want to be the baddest exile ever? Are you a bad enough dude to save the president?" And he offers you another trash rare. And I would just kind of go to wave 4 and take like one catalyst, and it just I don't know. Now that they drop loot, maybe they'll be okay. We'll see. I probably will block them. And then ritual. I think ritual is another really good thing to invest in early in SSF. You get the floor rares and stuff, but um, I don't know, it's not that fun for me. And I always forget to actually get my stuff at the end because you want to like wait until you like get all of your tributes that you're gonna get before buying stuff. So otherwise, you might screw yourself out of something gooder. Like if you buy on the first altar, half the items aren't even visible yet. It's very silly. Uh, like all the mistakes that you can just make with heist. Maybe if we had like a heist NPC in our base that we could like buy from after, that would be so good. I'm gonna like write that down real quick. All right, I wrote that down. I like to write down all like the things that really annoy me during gameplay in a league, or at least try to remember to. And then at the end of the league, when I'm done playing, I like send an email to GGG support of here are my pain points, and they say thank you. That's helpful, so I'm gonna keep doing it. So what do we leave unblocked? Breach. I think I really don't want to spec into breach on tree, but I think I'll probably be able to like splinter the fuck up with a ton of scarabs and like harvest swapping. I want all right, so this is just stuff that I'm in. And then Abyss. I don't know. I could probably block Abyss to be honest. I don't I think there might be like a couple of Abyss scarabs that I just really want. And I remember using one Abyss scarab to complete like a challenge this league. And maybe I'll like end up pushing more challenges. Because Necropolis, it was just very annoying because there would be a ton of corpses and in your maps, and you had to like pick them up because there was just a giant fucking box over everything that you couldn't turn off. Anyway, I've explained this whole tree, right? Yeah. I mean, aside from Legion, like I went into a little Legion. I took this one because my build's dog shit, and maybe this early, so I need that like longer stasis duration. Getting this one for chance and like makes my splinters actually be emblems, which gets me like more chances of Timeless Jewels. This one might be pretty good. Additional warhords, just that's probably like more cool items. I might like spec into that eventually. I don't know, but this is like red maps where I'm still going for completion. So like eventually I will remove all the Kirak nodes. Like boom, this is like one potential respec of that atlas that I am kind of considering. Where oh right. Where I'm going into alright, so this is like probably not an atlas that I would be farming like immediately after completing maps because a lot of this wouldn't help me with the next power that I would kind of need. But let's just take a look at it anyway while we're here. So boom, that node, of course. I'm going to Eater Altars. And the reason for that is the second build I want to make this league would benefit hugely from having Black Zenith gloves. I'm talking like Black Zenith gloves would basically like double the build's damage, and that's like about a 3% drop from the Infinite Hunger. So I am absolutely taking X by Acid for like Eater. And then honestly, the pack size and stuff is pretty good. I don't know if I would be able to handle like the super downsidey stuff on this, so I just didn't click on it. And then finding more altars is nice, and I can path through all this pack size, which is pretty cute. Honestly, I don't know if by the time I'm farming on this tree, if I'll even like need more Guardian maps. I think the answer is probably no. I'll probably have like at least my third or fourth Voidstone by the time I like decide to come do this map. And I've eventually I might spec out of the Vol side areas. I think the alluring Vol side area thing drops mortal fragments. I think. And I'm gonna need a set of mortal fragments to kill Uberat Ziri at least one time for the feared invitation. And like maybe even more times because I think the first time I do the feared, it's just gonna be white. I'm gonna do a white feared. I'm gonna get my Atlas passive point from it, and then like later on when I'm much stronger, I'll Alchemy Chaos it to whatever the challenge is that league. But here's my real second Atlas tree. Ooh, let's refresh again. Here is my real second Atlas tree. Pretty fucking weird. Let's go over from like bottom-ish to top, I guess. For specking into the block nodes, I'm blocking Ritual Ultimatum, and then I'm actually spec'd into these three, so I'm keeping those unblocked, of course. I'm blocking Abyss, Legion, and Expedition. So Legion, the Scarabs forward are actually pretty solid. If I don't need to, I probably won't block it. Let's quickly double check. 92% chance to contain a Mirror of Delirium. So I would only need that's what I like have on tree because I'm missing this node that would give me the last 8% to always have a Deli mirror. So if I were to unblock Legion and I get Legion Scarabs now, I would always still have Deli, but I'd have like fewer rogues chests, so who knows. So we're going into Heist. We're going into Heist here, just for some chance, and then we're taking these nodes up here that basically just give me a lot more rogue caches and a lot more blueprints. I think those are the only ones I actually want, because here I kind of have to like say, oh, what level jobs do I want? And the answer is it depends. Because and there's also this one that is actually pretty nice because let's just like look at what they are. So demolition, counter thaumaturgy, trap disarmament. Demolition has three reward types that are extremely good. for what I'm doing in SSF. It has Blight, so that you'll get some oils, you get Blight maps from it, and Blight Scarabs, which is pretty nice. Like, if you don't want to spec into Blight on Tree, I'm specking into a little bit of Blight on Tree. Um, we'll get to that later. If you don't want to do that, you really want to do your demolitions. It also has catalysts as a reward type. You get like ultimatum catalysts from Heist. This is probably how I'm going to get pretty much all of my catalysts this league. And I'm going to need them to like quality my rings and shit. And if I don't get like 20 of the exact one I need, I can just harvest swap them. So I'm not super worried about getting like 20 of the super rare one that I need or something. I'll just spend a fuckload of juice if I have to. And then the third thing it has, it's like, I think, reach splinters. And that's really good because my build's good at breach, but I'm not spec'd into it anywhere yet. Like, if I do like this, I'll probably have like another 15 or so points at this point, and that's not enough to spec very much into breach. Like, I guess I just could, but we'll see. I'll figure it out. Alright, so Heist. Fucking amazing. Second thing I'm spec'd into is Alva. Incursion. That is absolutely important for my build, because I'm going Blight of Contagion Trickster, and it would really, really be nice for my character if I could get a level 21 gem that says Vol Blight and Blight of Contagion on it, because then I'll just have like much better single target. I can just use my Vol Blight to kill bosses, and if it's level 21, that's even more amazing. And the only one to get a level 21 Blight of Contagion, oh, excuse me, is through Atziri. Or Atziri. Why did I say it's who the fuck is that? It's through Alva. Yeah, Atziri's the Val Queen. I'm thinking Alva. If I go through the Alva temples, so I'm getting 100% chance to contain Alva here. And then I'm not sure how good the Vol Flesh Merchant is, so I just didn't click on that. I think Cursed Treasure is going to be pretty nice. I'm just going to click on that, get a little extra loot. Up here, just like 1 in 3 chance for all the monsters to be magic, and doubling the, like, that's like the really good part of this, I think. Making all the monsters magic, that just means I'm going to get so much amazing loot, or like XP at least. They might not have that good loot, but I'm going to get a ton more XP from all these, which is going to be nice. Get my passive points, get like an extra 12 life every level up. Makes a big difference. So these two nodes, they're mandatory. Basically, it means you can actually build a like good temple much more consistently. And then, of course, I take this node, which gives me 4 incursions instead of 3 per map, so that I build like more temples overall. I think it's like 1 less map to build a temple on average. And let's look at my delirium nodes I went into. So this is just like delirium chance, quite nice. And then there's like, it's very awkward. There's chance here, and they're separated by this fucking keystone that has like huge downsides that I personally don't want. And then we have this, which basically makes the fall glass longer. I think early on when I don't have like a super blasty build, like, because Contagion, Blade of Contagion Trickster, it's not like a really good build. I think like the only like content creator who like even like mentioned it in any way is like Tai Killer put it at like D or D minus tier on his Leaguestart tier list. I think it's so funny because a lot of people would just call the build dog shit, even though it got like a 17 or 14. I forget what the number was. It got like more damage this patch. Up here, it's going into a bunch of deli mirror chance to actually show up. And then I'm getting like a 4% chance for maps to have layers of delirium. And I think that's like pure upside. Because when you pick up a delirious map, you're essentially saving like 5 or so clicks. Because it's going to have like probably about 2-ish layers of delirium. That means you would have to pick up 2 delirium orbs off the ground. You'd have to right click them on your inventory and left click them on the map. And while it's true you don't like get to choose what maps get delirious and stuff, I think it's still very nice and fun. Like worst case scenario, I'll click that and then I won't have these points anymore. I'll just respec out of them. Over here, I don't know, I think delirium orbs are a lot more fun than cluster jewels. And I'm getting uh plenty of chance to get that up here anyway. So I'm just gonna go through here and get like I'll just farm my clusters from my deli maps probably, right? So this actually gets me closer to my clusters anyway. And this looks like a pretty good node. I don't know how many delirious unique monsters I'm actually gonna kill. It is possible that I'll just completely spec out of these 4 nodes if I just feel like they're not helping me at all. Additionally, this node, I don't know if I'll be able to like complete the entire maps like delirious, especially because I'm doing like destructive play and I'm going to be fighting a bunch of map bosses. So if my build's actually strong enough to do this, I'm definitely keeping these nodes on, but if it isn't, I'll just take them out. I definitely want to keep this 18% stack size of simulacrum splinters. I remember trying one simulacrum last league in Necropolis and just being like, wow, that was pretty boring for a while, and then it got really hard. And now that we have this, or now that they're going to be like only 15 waves instead of 30, and you're going to get more good loot from them, I'm super excited. I'm going to try to do a bunch of simulacrums. I think I'm going to make a simulacrum farmer that's some kind of like gladiator with lucky block chance, and then I'm going to do like cast when stunned or something. I'm just going to block everything and like DD or whatever, all the monsters. It's going to be fucking sick. Um, and if I don't get like the right uniques to do that, if I don't get the right uniques for that Capsman stun setup, what I might do, this is very funny to me conceptually, I'll go for a Chaos Inoculation Gladiator with Aegis Aurora that does cast when stun, and I'll just make sure that I have like a really, really low base life value. Because it calculates your stun chance based on your life before CI. Oh no, but if you have ES, it's like 50% chance not to get stunned, so it's probably fucking sucks. I don't know. I'll figure out how to make like an AFK cast when stun simulacrum farmer this league. It might just be a jug. So I saw a couple of videos of someone doing it with a jug last league. And finally, destructive play. So, um, let's quickly zoom out. Or yeah, let's zoom in first. So Maven, destructive play. Maven shows up, she summons extra bosses, and then each map boss is affected by vivid memories, remnants of the past, and conquered conquerors, which means I'm going to get a lot more of these Guardian maps, which is really good and important, because eventually I will want to farm them. The only super necessary one is the Elder and Shaper Guardian maps, because those are going to give me fragments to fight Shaper and Elder, and then they will give me the Uber Elder fragments for the 4th Void Stone. I'm probably going to kill Maven before Uber Elder. So this also gives like, so this is gonna like give me the fragments I need. Also, if you have a chance to drop Awakened Gems, like just in a map with this in general, if Maven's watching, I think it's better with this node. So that's something I'm really looking forward to, because if I can drop some good Awakened Gems for my build, like the big ones would be the big one would be Awakened Void Manipulation. That would be so nice. So boom, this is gonna give me like more character power of my character to like really catapult it out of like being a stupid weak baby. Then we're gonna have Alpha, where I'm gonna like try doing a bunch of gem corruptions to actually get like a 2120 Vol Blight of Contagion, and that'll be like such a great gem for my character to have. Also Delirium. So my starting tree that like I'll probably look right after I finish this video and upload it. I'll make a second one where I talk about Delirium, or I talk about my build. So I have a lot of dot multi on tree, and I'll probably end up wanting to like have dot multi on gear, and then I can sort of take the dot multi on tree and get more increased on tree. And the best way to get increased on tree for a chaos dot build is with cluster jewels, because I think the Delhi cluster jewels for that give like 12% increased damage per node, which is a fuckload. That's like way more than you can get per node on tree in most areas. So I'm absolutely going to do that. I'm gonna have, I think that's just gonna like increase the damage of my build. Is like all of like the dot multi on tree like goes on to my gear essentially, and then I get a bunch of increased with those points that I just saved. My build's gonna be awesome if I do that. It's gonna be a lot stronger. So like so all the mechanics on this tree are like contributing to my character power. Oh, and blight. Right, I expect into blight. I mean, I'm gonna need an annoyance, right? So this right here gives me 70% chance blight total, I think. No, it's 76 chance. Yeah, so this gives me a ton of blight chance. Honestly, this is probably all the blight on tree that I'm gonna need. Let's look at the blight nodes that I chose to take. It's basically just Templar Ingenuity because it looks cool. I think Immune Response also is kind of essential if you're specking into blight. And for me, because I'm already like right here and I'm not traveling too much, and this is a pretty good travel node as far as the Atlas is concerned for like early league farming, like when you have two Void Stones, immune response makes a monster spawn way faster. And you're gonna get 50% more like not unique monsters. I don't know if that means I get more monsters. If there's more blight monsters to kill, I'm pretty sure that makes the pump just drop more loot, which is really good for me. I want that. And then they spawn faster, which means that I get my rewards faster. And the thing about blight is even if your character has like if you have no skill gems equipped, right? And all you have are your like shitty unarmed attacks, and you're just wearing a rare gear, so like there's no face breakers factor or whatever. You can still just put up towers and kick a fuckload of ass. And then I'm pathing up here because there's like the two blight chance nodes. These are the only let's contain a blight. Like the only blight chance nodes on the entire atlas are right here where you get 76, and then down here you get like the last 24%. So honestly, I might eventually like remove these and just go down here, lower the cost of upgrading and building my towers, and then kind of save some points. And the reason for that is because like Templar Ingenuity just looks, I don't know if this is going to be dog shit or not, honestly. It's a completely new node where you'll be able to like salvage your towers after the encounter, and you get higher tiers will give better salvage, which makes a lot of sense. And then I'm gonna get better salvage from everything if I have a bigger variety of tower types. That just sounds really fun. Like you get even more like I people are like, oh, I have to loot more after Blight. Like I get to loot more after Blight. I'm gonna like I don't know what they're gonna give. I'm excited to find out. I think this is gonna be fun. If it's dog shit, I will just spec out of it. Let's talk about some other blight nodes that I spawned into. This, um, where it's like, so the blight bosses like have a chance to add an additional reward chest. It's like five. It's like 30% when a blight boss dies if you have the whole wheel, and then one lane is only guarded by blight bosses. I think this is very cool. I don't think it's that good for what I'm doing, which is I'm trying to get like blight maps and oils, not like general rewards. You have to go to like very specific map layouts to really get value out of this. And I feel like it's something I won't always want. I'd rather in early SSF have like not have to like spend like 20 regrets all the time. So I think this is very cool and good. And if I'm doing like some kind of juiced blight strategy, I'm almost definitely clicking on this because it just seems amazing if you do certain map layouts to force only one blight lane, and then like you use certain scarabs. I forget exactly which blight scarabs would be good with this, but I remember looking at Blight Scares and be like, oh wow, yeah, this would be fucking good. And then finally we have this one, where, you know, this looks like it would be amazing because you get a bunch more Blight maps, which is kind of what I'm going for. And then completing a Blight encounter gives you Blight Reach. This really I find scary on this specific Atlas setup because I'm trying to farm the Guardian maps, and Blight Reach says that there's just a chance for my maps found to drop as blighted maps instead. And I don't think those will give me fragments. I really, really did my fragments. What I should do is like email GGG support or whatever and ask Mark. I don't know how to do that and be like, hey, is Blight Reach going to convert my Guardian maps into Blight maps? I don't want that. And they'll be like, oh, don't worry, that's not going to happen. Or, oh, yeah, you'll be fucked. I don't know. I don't know what it'll be. Um, so 129 out of 132. That's a lot of points. I'm probably going to like remove some of these. Like I'll like a lot of these points I talked about. Like I don't know. I'll probably remove it. I think that's fine because I'll like be able to trim this atlas as needed. When I'm like in my second farming phase after completing my atlas, and then I'm like pathing through delve because it's efficient. I don't mind doing a little delve. I think like whenever I get full up on sulfite, I'll go to the mines, I'll find some azurite, I'll upgrade my maximum sulfite. Because sometimes like just doing a little delve is nice to break up the maps because it's a different kind of gameplay. It's honestly super chill and fun. And if you're like making a new character, it can be a pretty nice way to level them as well. Blade of Contagion Trickster, I don't know if it's like the super best at delve because like if I put down Contagion and then like light everything up, everything like the entire wave is gonna die, and then there's gonna be like a new wave that's spawning. I don't think it'll like proliferate forever. We'll see though. If the monsters spawn fast enough, I think my build will be very comfy for like a very shallow delve. Definitely like would not want to go deep with like a fucking blight trickster. That's everything. Oh wow, 42 minutes. Last time I recorded this and it was messed up, it was like 43. So I'm glad it's consistent now. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you already saw this video and you made it to the end, very good job. But yeah, if let me know what you think of these Atlas trees in the comments. Because I know Path of Exile players like to have their opinions. So let me know what you think, gamer. Bye bye.